And with that haunting tune, we're going to slip into what I hope is the finale of this. Not because I want it to be over, but because I need to know. Believe me, this is actually really rough. Because I don't want it to be over, because there's nothing quite like this game. I mean nothing. I have looked and looked. And finding something that's going to scratch this itch when I'm done is all but impossible. There's a few games that kind of maybe sit in the genre, but it's not the same thing. So, this is where we left off. We have gotten 5 of 7 endings. Interesting how it still says all team. I really expect that to change in some way. And it may still have to. I just don't know how or why. So as you'll recall, last night, we saw how Junpei and Akane are released into the world of Virtue's Last Reward. Carlos arrives. He waited 10 months outside to save them. And Akane was pissed that he didn't try and stop Zero's plan in the meantime, although he has absolutely no way of knowing who that is or how he could have stopped it as a firefighter. And then she used what appears to be the removed face of one of the bracelets, although I'm not entirely sure where she got it, to drug Junpei, so he wouldn't remember any of this, because if nothing else, Akane is incredibly dedicated to carrying out her visions to make sure that they work that way. And since Tenmyoji had no idea what was going on by the time that we got to BLR, he couldn't know now. That was this one right here, the moon. Now, if we look at the flowchart, it's completely reorganized. And I do mean completely. The only thing we haven't really done is betray and kill D-Team yet. But let's look at this. This used to be off on its own. Will it show me the old way? No, it won't. And this has stayed the same, but this used to be off on its own, and this used to right here branch into the 3 different ones. But what's happened is we've realized that all of our stuff is sequential. We realized that a little temporal manipulation puts the red team before the green team before the blue team. That is C, Q, and D. Because of that, we have these color bands that go across. So we can kind of predict what we're missing. These and these should be green team. This is blue team. And this is red team right here. We also have this one right here. So it's interesting that we're able to see some of that. Now, as I click on these, we can choose things like the antidote is, and if we get correct, then yay. If we get it incorrect, presumably there's codes that we need, but I don't know that we need them. One of the important things about looking through here is, do you see any locks? I no longer see any locks. So let's back out. Let's go to C team, and let's look at these options. If we see any with exclamation marks, we need to go take them. If we see any that aren't full, we need to figure out what we need to do to complete them. That's the original coincide one. So we have an option here where we choose the wrong antidote, and we'll all just die. Maybe that's useful. If we encounter a lock we can't get past, maybe we'll do it. I don't see a compelling reason right now to do it. Just like this one right here. If we put the wrong mask on, or if we don't put the mask on, or if we all try and share it, or something like that, and it kills us, probably kills all of us, and we probably will get some more X codes. I got a lot of X codes right now. I'm not even sure X codes are a necessary thing. Now, force quit C. Let's go do this one. We were given a code by Zero. Akane and Junpei were given a phrase by Zero before they were released.
Seriously, what the hell is this thing?
Viva Hode. Live for today.
Box.
I know that. I'm asking what exactly it's going to end.
Whatever it is, we can't do anything unless we have the password.
A password. Huh.
What is it, Carlos?
I feel like I can almost remember.
What?
The password to open this box.
How do you know?
Just shut up for a second. I think the password has to be...
And the interesting thing is, now that these are all sequential, we know something about it. This is the one box. There's not 3 boxes. At one point in time, we find this open, and we put in a couple of mementos to make it work. I suspect we're the ones that open it. Seems like it.
What the hell is this?
It looks like a device of some kind.
Hey, look, something's appearing on the monitor.
To execute the force quit program, the central control computer must be booted.
Central control computer?
Wait, did we ever see something like that in here?
If there isn't, then we're out of luck.
Dead end, huh?
Interesting that these projected walls can perfectly hide doors.
Hey, Carlos, how did you know that password?
I'm not sure.
What?
I don't know how I knew.
This is just a guess, but... Carlos, did you possibly shift from another timeline?
Wait, shift?
Shift. Shift.
He's getting good if he's remembering all this.
Oh, so it was like that then.
Hey, come on, you're the only one to figure it...
Sorry, just could you be quiet for a second? I need to think about something.
You've been sitting here for an hour, Carlos. Could you maybe share what you've been thinking about?
Do you want to know?
Yes.
I was thinking about you, Akane.
Me?
You're, well, to be blunt, really hot.
Huh?
We may never manage to make our way out of this shelter. You know what that means, right?
What?
I'm sorry. I'm not sure.
What the hell are you getting at, you asshole?
Oh, look. A Neanderthal is trying to block my way.
What? Wait, what the hell?
Oh my god.
Carlos!
He's pulling a Back to the Future, you guys.
No! Please, stop this!
Shut the fuck
This
up!
is so out of character for him.
You bastard!
Here we go. Make him fight for her. He decided to play Biff to his Marty. Good.
What the? Hey! Wait up!
Right into the power room.
What the hell are you doing, Carlos?
I suppose I couldn't control myself?
You asshole!
Yeah.
What? Is that all you got?
What did you say?
That's the extent of your feelings for Akane? Huh?
Damn you!
That was a good one. Oh, I can tell you're finally getting fired up over this.
Shut the fuck up! You fucking asshole!
Kane just look, or Junpei looks like a kid next to Carlos. Yeah, he's back to the futuring it pretty hard. Make him fight for her.
Carlos, are you all right?
Yeah, that was nothing. Anyway. Hey, man. What do you say to a drink?
What?
To clean the slate between us. Come on. This one'll work fine. Ah, damn it. I blame you for this, Junpei. My hands are all shaky after your brutal punches. Sorry, but could you guys help me clean this up?
What the hell?
He's back to the futuring this so hard. See? Now they're hiding where Zero won't know, and he's probably telling them secrets.
Thanks,
Would be
guys.
my guess.
Sure.
Guys, it's almost time.
You're right.
He just didn't want to say it on camera where Zero knew stuff.
Now it is time for you to sleep. When
Matter of fact, he may have even put the cards in
you will
there.
have no memory of these
I don't know if he would have had him in this timeline, though.
pleasant dreams.
He's certainly seen it work, though. Yeah, they passed out. And he says that they won't remember. But if he went through all that just to get them to do it, there's almost certainly a reason. So we're still locked out here, but let's keep looking. I want to make sure that we've gotten everything. Yeah, we got the anthropic principle. The mask isn't cleared. What about this? We've cleared the shower. All right. Let's look at Q Team. They still have 2 locks. They can't finish this one because we don't know the code yet. That's the flip. That's afterwards. We finished this. Kind of a happy ending for Sean. Kind of. Now, the execution vote is going to be an important one for us to change. We've got all of these. Finally, we shot that guy. I love the icon for that too, by the way. This too was a possibility, I believe he had said. Who killed Mira? We still don't know, so I don't think we're gonna lie. So, let's check D Team. I really think there's not much else to do except kill D Team through betrayal. It's the only version of the timeline we haven't seen yet. Yeah. We got most of these cleared out. All right, So the only way around this is for Q team to vote to kill D team. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to jump over to Q team. And we're going to jump to them making this decision here. And we'll do the unthinkable. We'll betray our friends and comrades.
5 minutes until the deadline.
I wonder if Gab made it to Ward D or not.
Even if he did, who knows if Diana will vote the way it says in the note.
What? You think she'll betray us?
That dog's just
Not
hanging out
outside
in
the
the
realm of
vent.
possibility. I don't even want to consider the alternative.
Which is?
That the whole letter from C-Team is a trap.
Trap.
They could have written it, but maybe Carlos is planning to vote for Q-Team instead.
Hey, wait a minute now. That's not good. At all.
You said it. If I'm right, then we need Diana to do the opposite of what it says.
What? But
The deadline to vote is in 3 minutes.
The vote has to be decided by the leader, but
what should we do?
We don't have time for a committee.
then we'll
Remember,
just
Q
have
is
to
the
use
leader.
force.
Hey!
Pretty
wait!
sure that Sean there is not actually Q, you see. That's why it made us type Q's real name. But he... I don't know. We still don't know what Q, what Delta looks like. It's entirely off camera so far. Other than the fact that he's brother and Zero, but he's under that plague doctor getup.
Your vote has been accepted.
Oh no.
The plot thickens.
Why would you? If Carlos voted for D-Team like he said he would in the note?
Maybe that was the result he was going for. He wanted to kill the 3 in D-Team.
No.
You said it earlier, right, Mira? The note Gab brought? It could have been a trap from C-Team.
Right. But that doesn't mean voting for D-Team can be justified. If it really was a trap, there still isn't a solid reason to go against what it says in the note. Because regardless, as long as Diana doesn't flip on us, we may be screwed anyway.
Mira?
There's no way we can justify it by saying we voted this way in self-defense.
Just make him feel bad, why don't you?
90 minutes have passed. Your time limit has ended. Sleep well, as the next game will begin when you awake. Unfortunately, the team who receives 2 votes will be unable to participate. One final thing. You've gone through with the vote exactly as I commanded. You deserve a reward for obeying. The memory loss drug will not be injected into the 3 of you. When you next wake, those who survived will be able to regret the decision they made. As all members of a single team will perish as a result of the vote you entered.
It's so dire when he puts it that way. Do you hear that? 4 drops. Blop, 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 blop. Should have caught that so much earlier. I feel like an idiot for not.
Hey, Mira, wake up!
Oh.
Where are we?
I think this is the pod room.
And they've got
Damn
the
it.
necklaces on.
It's no use. It's locked and won't open.
What's
I'm
with
gonna
this
have to go
collar?
back and change.
I don't know. It was on my neck when I woke up.
You
Yeah.
fucking brat. It has to be you.
I didn't change the
It's
others
not.
to vote in the correct decision.
Eric! Stop!
Then tell us how to get this thing off.
We've seen this.
I don't...
Yep, that's how we discovered the door, and it says like twins' birthdays.
A door?
Maybe it's...
Is this another exit?
Not that there's any way for any of them in there to pass this information out. It's only us. Personally. We're the only ones.
What are you saying?
This is a joke, right?
So it was a trap set up by C-Team.
The world is full of possibilities. You have caused one of them to become realized. That's all it is.
I've been assuming that Sean is
Take it off! I said take it off!
the kid that's in the hospital, and
Damn it!
that Delta himself was the old man in the hospital. Mm-hmm. Rip. Gross. It's interesting that Zero is really actually kind of absurdly fair here. All right, so let's take a look at this. Look at the flow. They're still not dead because I have to go back and change their decision, you see. Right now, I had really thought that this would be the case. The most recent one. All right, so they can vote for Q Team. Their decision is completely immaterial. Right now, they voted for D Team, so we need to come back here and change the execution vote on them to D. So we're gonna fast forward.
What?
Yep.
And we're gonna vote for D. This should do it. The flowchart seems to remember some of these decisions that we've made, which I theorized when I thought they were all parallel. Makes a little less sense for it to do it now that they're in series.
Your vote has been accepted.
Ah, I was
To
worried
me,
you weren't going
but to the
do
game
it,
world, it
Carlos.
makes sense.
You'll see, Akane. Just because we did what we said we would doesn't mean this will work. Hell, we don't even know if our note reached the other teams or not. And even if it did, there's no guarantee they did what we asked. Two possibilities will come out of this. The 3 members of D Team will die.
Or it's our heads on the chopping block.
90 minutes have passed. Your time limit has ended. Sleep well, as the next game will begin when you awake. Unfortunately, the team who receives 2 votes will be unable to participate. One final thing. You've gone through with the vote exactly as I commanded. You deserve a reward for obeying. The memory loss drug will not be injected into the 3 of you. When you next wake, those who survived will be able to regret the decision. As all members of a single team will perish as a result of the vote you entered.
I mean, Carlos, you remember losing this flip. Why are you not just like, F it, I'm leaving for the one where everybody survived? When we won the coin flip, we outie for show. Okay. And it proceeds silently through the other decision
Diana?
points.
Diana!
Yes. Uh-oh.
Fi, where are we? I think it's the healing room.
Hey! Open this
I know
door!
it's the healing room. Remember when we saw the blood?
No idea. Zero must have put them on us. But
Let's take them off.
we can't. There's no hole for a key.
But there must be a way.
And now for the voting results. The team who received 2 votes is you, D-Team. As such, according to the rules, D-Team will be executed.
No!
Damn it!
Why? What's Q Team thinking? If they were going to choose us, then
Sad thing
there
is,
was no
we
point
as the
in
player
sitting
have come
down.
around to Brother's way
That's
of thinking.
true,
We see why
but-
playing every possibility
There
is
has to be a
important.
trick to this game. Something nonsensical. Illogical, maybe.
You're trying hard. Was it you decided to kill all of them? In a way, they are the true culprit.
Just stop talking nonsense.
Zero! You won't get away with this!
Oh, yeah, you will.
Swear I'll...
Sigma, let's jump.
What?
May you rest in peace. Potita acta est fabula.
Jump. Okay. Not only are those two probably still very much alive, but now we get to deal with the fun of them being pissed off at C-Team for what they feel like is betrayal until they learn what's going on. Let's look and see if we've got any new ones. We do. We have one new one there for the Q-Team. Let's check it out. Oh, it's a big one, too. There's a shotgun pointed right at his little dome head. That means this is almost certainly after Carlos was killed and shifted out. Q. Yep. Oh, now you're a murderer.
Why? Why?
Shut up! He was trying to make me look the fool. He
are the
probably figured I wouldn't shoot. Looks like he figured wrong.
No! No!
Hey, cut that out, Eric. No. I won't stop. Not until you're all dead.
There was only 5 shells in the case.
Why?
Didn't I say already? Because one of us
It's at least 3.
is the one who killed Mira. It's you, isn't it?
I told you, it's not
You're gonna have to prove it.
proof. I don't have any.
Then I'm killing you.
Wait! Please wait! I know.
Well, we'll put our hands on her
Maybe.
neck. You must have passed a lock.
Maybe what?
Maybe if I take this helmet off, I think you'll understand then.
Yeah, we know
So,
this code.
your face will prove your innocence?
Right. Face.
Fine. Take it off.
The number for this is... I think it's...
The day that they went back through the teleporter, but in reverse. 6140 40 9. So here's the thing, right? It's 1904 for sure. April 1904. Think of that backwards. That's why I think the 16th is their is the day of arrival.
What? Are you serious?
Schrodinger's cat.
It can't be.
No! Yeah,
Successfully removed the helmet.
I'm... not human.
Creepy. So I wonder what the ball is for, even.
That makes you even more suspicious.
No, it's because I'm not human that I can't be.
What do you mean?
White
My
blood.
It's white, not red.
So what?
She had stuff under her
Remember how Mira had
fingernails.
some skin and blood under her nails? Wait, well, I guess you wouldn't because of the memory loss, but
No, no, you're right. When I tried to revive Mira, I took a look at her.
then you realized
Wonder if we didn't
I
really
think
see a lot of
the
white when he was
skin and
stabbed,
blood is
or
the killer.
if there was just a little bit.
Before Mira
Yeah,
died.
probably is.
I think she did her best to resist.
I see. I suppose you're right then. You didn't kill her. But no. It doesn't change the fact that you existing is suspicious. I mean, come on. Why is a robot here?
Well,
Sigma and Diana have been really quiet.
Zero brought me in.
What the?
Zero created me so I could support him in this game.
Yeah, Sigma's taking
I
notes.
knew it! Wait, Eric! Out of my way! I'm gonna kill him!
Please, just calm down, Eric.
Shut up!
If what he said is true, then he would be able to tell us who Zero is.
Right? You dumbass. There was another shadow down here at the bottom. Let's see if it shows it to us again. Oh, probably not. Oh yeah, there it is. Funny, with all their shadows gone, you know that has to be on purpose. Who the Muffin Man is?
Fine.
See, there it is again.
You know,
right by the dog.
Then tell me right now who the real Zero is.
All right.
What's the name of the bastard who locked us up and forced us to take part in this messed up game?
Zero's name is...
I'm assuming he's nah, that would make sense. Who knows? I don't know why he would have killed Mare in the other timeline. But once we know, we should be able to go back to the other timeline and answer correctly. Although he won't know who it is, and he'll probably die. Let's try Delta. Must be. I wonder what happens if you just name, like, Sigma. He's all like, what the fuck?
Zero. The real Zero is...
Us?
you, Delta.
Delta?
Wait, what is this now? We've got
Heard that name before.
computer vision now.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, yeah. You guys wouldn't know. Because you transported into this history.
Oh, would you stop yapping, Sean? This old man's name is Q.
No. Old man.
That's right.
That's what he was called at DCOM.
Yeah, I called him that. And Mira. She always called this man Q, too.
Then...
Well, that seems to have freaked them right out. Oh, we were in a wheelchair. It's an old man. Hey, those glasses are just like the glasses that we put together on the other one, or at least similar. Did we see brother in the last one?
This guy totally stood!
Maybe.
You're completely correct, Sean. My real name is Delta.
He spoke.
Yeah, that's the voice we heard from
You were
before.
supposed to be deaf.
And he does sound like Zero.
And here we are. All of you will be living together here in the decom facility.
The old man in the wheelchair too?
Uh-huh. His name is Q. It should be obvious, but he can't walk. What's more, he can't see or hear either.
He can't hear.
Nope.
But then why?
Strangers living together on Mars for an extended period of time? What kind of problems would that bring? How would the subjects figure out solutions to the resulting troublesome situations?
Makes sense.
According to the decom staff, that's
Oh,
what the
hey,
experiment
Boo,
was
what's
trying to
going
determine.
on, buddy? You are here for the finale.
Old man.
Delta just
Put
stood
us
up.
in a difficult position on purpose. To observe how we'd get out.
So, you're saying it...
It's all a lie.
And your eyes.
Whoa. Those are fucked up.
This is...
Probably been
There are
seeing-
a large variety of security
Yes.
cameras in place throughout the shelter.
He's been watching you
A
all, you
feed
see.
of all the footage is fed in, and they all appear there.
I'm
So,
surprised they
he used
haven't
that to
just
spray
blown
us
him
the whole
away
time.
yet.
Yes, I did. However, it is limited to those histories where I am alive.
Alive?
histories?
They got a similar nose, don't they?
Hey, Sigma, go take off his clothes.
Huh?
Just hurry and do it!
There is no need. This is what you wanted to see, correct?
You bastard!
Hold on, don't do it, Eric!
If you shoot, we won't be able to ask him anything.
Eric, you dipshit. I think he's fired 3 of his 5 rounds anyway.
So,
One's for the door.
was it you who killed Junpei too?
No. Mira was the one who did that.
Sounds reasonable, but I wonder how she found him.
She was, in a sense, a collaborator. She was a necessary element of my plan.
Oh, was she another
But
danger element?
It wasn't that I gave her a specific set of orders.
She was
I
the
simply
Dio.
let her roam free and do as she pleased.
Yeah.
Oh, I did exempt her from the drug injections.
Oh, that would explain it right
Why?
there.
Why'd you kill Mira?
She's a serial killer. The Heart Ripper. Many innocent people lost their lives because of what she's done. I only gave her her due punishment.
What are you talking about? Stop bullshitting me!
It's the truth.
Man, you've been killed in at
another
least 3
history,
histories.
you and Diana and Sigma were all murdered by her.
Shut up! You're just making shit up! I will never believe you! There's no way my angelic Mira would ever...
Angel of death, you dumbass.
No,
Eat a bullet.
Eric, don't shoot! We haven't asked him everything yet.
Shut up! I don't care! The X door will never open again!
It'll open. Of course it will.
What?
So, should we ask him how?
Right. The old man. Delta.
Why would he tell them? He'll give them some tiny part. Oh. Yep, this is it. This is what we needed. This is the 8-digit code.
We need this boy. I mean, Sean. He needs to get direct access to the central control computer. Is that right?
But
What?
to connect to it directly, I need to extend a cable from my neck and plug it into the console jack that's inside. But, well,
It looks like the cover is shut.
yeah. We would need to open this first.
What's the code?
Code?
Don't play dumb. The code to open the damn cover.
It's 3808-0832.
308-08-0832.
It opened.
Now we just need to extend the cord and connect it. Okay.
Holy
It's
crap.
ready. Just wait a sec. I'll open the X door.
Yeah, should only have 2. Figured he killed Delta and then himself.
No!
Oh, no. Why those 2?
My hand just...
I have
Interesting.
for this history. There's only one thing left to do.
No! Wait! Don't...
He's the mind controller. We theorized somebody was forcing people to choose decisions and forget things, even if they didn't take the drug. Wow. How kind of him, sort of, to leave Diana alive? Jesus. What a nightmare scenario, huh? Mom. Oh. I'm weirdly kind of touched by the mom. Not happy with dad, apparently, but mom's probably a little more pliant. It came from within achievement. Unlocked. Finished Q and 2. All right. I believe we have all the codes that we need at this point in time to finish the game. We need to go set this thing, I think. Yeah. Okay. We need them all to keep each other alive so that everybody exists to open their part of the reset. So let's go make sure that we get the flow set in the right direction for everybody to vote who they're supposed to vote for. So we may have to do a little bit of skipping to try and get this back. They're voting for the right person. I can't remember. I think they're also still voting for the wrong person. But let's set these guys to vote for C here real quick. I don't know if I can just choose that and it plays. I think I actually have to make the choice. So let's do that. So we're going to fast
5
forward.
minutes until the deadline.
I wonder if Gab made it to Ward D or not.
Even if he did, who knows if Diana will vote the way it says in the note.
What? You think she'll betray us?
It's not outside the realm of possibility. I don't even want to consider the alternative.
Which is?
That the whole letter from C-Team is a trap.
Trap?
They could have written it, But maybe Carlos is planning to vote for Q team instead.
Okay, so we're gonna fast forward. I just wanted to see that note so I could verify C team was the right answer. Okay. The choice is made, and it locks it in. I wonder if I can opt out now. I don't really need to see another murder scene.
Someone is definitely tricking us.
So it is you!
90 minutes have passed. Your time limit has ended. Sleep well, as the next game will begin when you awake. Unfortunately, the team who receives 2 votes will be unable either way.
Yeah, let's fast forward through this. There we go. I mean, we can just come back here and punch it in. Maybe we don't actually have to play through it. But it mattered last time when we did it, because we voted to betray somebody else, and they just went murdery. We still died, so it still mattered. So they have voted for D. They have voted for C. We need to vote for Q. Right now, we've still chosen to kill the other team. So we're just going to fast forward through this real quick. So all we have to do is vote for Q team instead of C team. And we are on the right track with everybody having lived.
Your vote has been accepted.
Well, that was a good choice.
Do you think it'll be okay?
So long as Gab's note was the truth.
All we could do was trust them.
I suppose.
90 minutes have passed. Your time limit has ended. Sleep well, as the next game will begin when you awake. Unfortunately, the team who receives 2 votes will be unable to participate. One final thing. You've gone through with the vote exactly as I commanded. You deserve a reward for obeying. The memory loss drug will not be injected into the 3 of you. When you next wake, those who survived will be able to regret the decision they made, as all members of a single team will perish as a result of the vote you entered. Pleasant dreams.
What's funny is if you listen to Q team drop from getting knocked out like that, you can hear 4 whomps. Not sure how much you should really hear the 4th one if he's in a wheelchair, but yeah, the hint was there. All right, so Q team. Now we have over on C team, we entered Viva Hode here to open it up. We need to connect the cables here. And then we put in the mementos here. We had that wonderful scene where we, whoops, that's not the right one, where we hugged it out after having the realization. Heck, it's not that one either. It's always the one that I don't think is the right one. Yeah, this one. Where they all hugged it out when they realized that they were a family, which is just excellent. Probably my favorite moment of the series.
The map says we're in
the quantum computer dome.
Yeah.
The computers in here run all the functions.
This is enough. This is enough for now, and they're all just hugging, and it is
I can't really
probably the best
tell you
moment.
why, because I don't know.
What?
Anyway, I think they mean this when they say central control computer.
So, what about that thing?
Wait, I feel like
I wonder why he didn't bother
I'm
to give him a
remembering
head.
Something.
The rest of the body works. He gives him a rusty head.
I know.
Know what?
The way you start up the system. first, we need to get the cover off.
This'll freak him out.
There's no way we can insert the plug if we don't.
The plug?
Please, just shh.
They're gonna lose their shit.
The number is...
Alright, well, we've got the number this time. Trying to figure out what 38080832 means. They have a meaning. They always have a meaning. But I haven't figured out what this one means yet. And for all I know, it's just like his serial number.
Now
We've done that
all we have
before
to
as a
do is
password.
insert the plug here.
So where is this plug?
I think
You're not gonna like this.
if we input the right numbers here.
What?
Yeah. Which we
Wait.
past this lock, but I've got that code
What
written
do
down on
numbers
another
for
screen.
your head have anything to do with the
Here we
plug
go.
for this?
I should just do it. You might get it then.
Stop avoiding the question.
Do you even know what should go there?
The numbers are,
I have 6 pages of yellow legal notes on this. It's gotten crazy. I almost just remember that code now. I know, right? Like I said. Sorry, I didn't mean for that to picked up on the mic, though.
Are you kidding me?
Well, I expected him to scream like a little girl.
You're...
Close enough. I thought it'd be higher pitched. And he passes out. Like, I expected a woman scream and then to turn. Like, it sounded like it was Mira, and we turned back and Mira's just standing there. And he's fallen on the ground. That's what I expected.
Eric, it's been an hour. Would you just get used to it already?
How can I? I mean, it's a robot. For real? Could you maybe do something about it?
You're gonna love this part with the cables. Oh, come on. Oh, he must have done it while he was passed out.
is this better?
Yeah. Now the shape brings out your eyes.
So this doesn't freak you out or anything at all?
I could say the same to you.
Well, not much phases me. I'm just not that type. You could have been a Martian for all I care.
Yeah.
Now she knows he doesn't have a heart.
When I first found out, I thought my heart was in my throat.
You don't have a heart.
Hey, hold on. Did you say when you first found out?
Yes.
I meant it happened to me before. In the past. In another history.
Another?
I remembered everything.
Of course you do. You
When
finally figured out how to
I
work
saw
the whole
what I looked
QC.
like earlier.
They've remained very cool with these locks, hiding important information behind them so they don't have to do multiple versions of a scene or
You see,
rewrite
my
history.
brain isn't located in this head. My thought center is there, inside the quantum computer. That is where I think, perceive, and send command signals to this body. For example, when I raise my hand like this, it's simply receiving a command. Just like a remote-controlled toy. Did you know? A quantum state is one where all possibilities overlap and coexist. This quantum computer, then, is able to use this state and run, say, simulations A, B, and C simultaneously. Basically, my brain is an infinite number of worlds and possibilities. So I can use that framework and... well, jump between other histories.
Oh, there's no way.
That I could do that? But it's possible that you two might be undergoing the same thing.
Not these two.
There's a theory. Human consciousness may be a result of quantum effects in the brain. It's called quantum mind. It's more or less suggesting a human brain is a form of quantum computer. If a specific set of conditions are met, then you too can...
Jump to other histories?
Yeah, but she can't feel
This sounds
anything,
like
and
crazy talk.
his sibling's
You
dead.
don't believe me?
Of course not.
Oh, I don't blame
Oh,
you.
I don't blame
I
you.
guess I should explain everything then.
He's so sad.
Please?
Oh.
Start at the beginning.
Before I begin, I need to do one little thing.
Punishment. Punishment.
What did you just do?
Just a little something.
Just a little something. Yeah. He cut Delta's security feed, which is what we're seeing, I suppose. All of these views may have been us/Delta seeing security feed through the glasses. They only gave us that cool overlay effect before then.
Nothing changed. Huh.
That we can see. But it looks like the message changed.
Yes, I started up the system earlier.
It says force quit program on standby. To initiate, 2 key items must be set. What does that even mean?
Wait,
And
it
these
seems
two
like
items-
there's something else.
The key items are...
A mother's mementos?
See, I guessed it from
wonder
the
what
shapes
Those could be.
and from having an idea about,
So, this is saying we need to find them?
Does
About
that
Find
mean
Diana.
they're hidden around here somewhere?
Even if that's true, I don't think we have the time.
Damn. Guess our time's up.
Now it is time for you to sleep. When next you wake, know you will have no memory of these past 90 minutes.
I wonder if Sean's playing along or if the Sean program is just blocked from having that beforehand. Oh well. Seems like they spent an hour waiting on him to fluster out. Get a grip on himself out of their 90 minutes. Alright, bigger on the inside achievement. Unlock, successfully activate the force quit box. Between all timelines, we've managed to do that. They opened it with the Viva Hode password. Finally opened his helmet and was able to put the cables in there. And we inserted the mementos. Interestingly enough, this is the first one we did. We inserted the mementos of the brooch and the music box. So, something should be unlocked. There's an unlock. There's an unlock. It's the same scene told from different perspectives. Let's take C-Teams first and see what's up. This is probably the big explanation for everything, you guys. We're going to learn it all. Final decision. About to have to start a new page of notes here. If anything gets learned this time. We've got a few that are just chapter headers.
I knew it. Looks like the memories we regained are true after all.
The 3 wards were all in the same place. Then...
I'm assuming that when they put the dog in the vent, it just sat there like, where'd the cheese go? I ate the cheese. And then just comes out later.
Akane. Junpei.
And Mira and Eric.
And you're Sean, right?
Carlos, what happened?
Proof of friendship.
Anyway, what are you guys doing here?
According to the schedule, C team and Q team should both still be asleep.
We took a page out of your book and did what you did. We used the cards to keep the bracelet needle from injecting us.
So, does that mean?
Yeah, I remember everything.
I do too.
Junpei and I as well.
Over the past few hours, we got back the memories we forgot.
Well, to be more accurate, it's more like we accessed the morphogenetic field and downloaded all of them.
Jesus.
Then you have the other history's memories too?
Yes.
Then you're like us.
But
Yeah, nerd.
Hold up. Eric and I are different.
What's up, no skills? Yeah.
We didn't gain memories from other histories.
Because you're lame.
Then neither of you got injected?
No, we're the same as Carlos and the others.
What does that mean? Oh.
Maybe I'll start from the beginning. First, so I could run the program in the Force Quit box, I accessed the central control computer. Then, I briefly turned off the communication network. That way, I stopped the surveillance cameras from sending any data to Zero.
Who was in the room with you?
I didn't want Zero to catch on to what we were doing.
Although perhaps down the
And that's
steps if
when
he was
Sean
in...
let us in on the truth of what's going
Perhaps
on.
down the stairs, though, if he was in
Went over to the
his
transporter
wheelchair.
room and picked up 2 cards. Before the injection, we each slipped one between our wrist and bracelet.
Okay. Now you two make sense. But what about you, Sean?
Well, you probably already know, but I'm a robot. Being injected does nothing to me.
Then,
every time the time limit approached, I was forced to go into sleep mode.
Yeah, that's what I
Then
thought. Okay.
my memories from the previous 90 minutes were deleted. I didn't want that to happen, so...
I hacked
Remember
it.
me saying I accessed the computer?
Yeah.
I hacked my own system too.
He said he managed to cancel the force sleep and delete functions.
You are well and truly rogue now, boy.
What about C-Team then?
We couldn't interrupt the surveillance cameras, so we had to be sneaky instead.
First, Carlos pushed me down and climbed on top of me.
He what?
It was just an act. I was only pretending to do it.
Carlos used that moment to whisper in my ear. He said to go to the transporter room and grab the cards in there.
But if I just let her go like that, it looks suspicious. So Junpei and I stayed behind to get Zero's undivided attention. I casually invited Junpei to the power room. You can see the result.
We had a
of our
little cowboy
conversation.
action.
You should have told me what was up.
If I had, then Zero would have figured it out. You look like you'd be a crap actor.
He lies pretty well in the future.
That?
We met Akane in the lounge. We hid from the cameras and each got a card from her.
Sorry, but could I get confirmation on something? Everyone knows what all happened in the other histories, right?
Yeah.
Even you, Mira and Eric?
Didn't Eric say so earlier? Sean told us everything.
But
Man, I feel like there need to be some apologies. Sorry.
Why what?
Why do we know about the other histories?
Well, that's probably...
Because there's a resonance effect. We said
You
that.
want to know?
Oh, he's just going to stand up now. It's fine. Oh, that's why they look shocked. He's got the shotgun. Jesus.
Q? Or maybe it's actually Zero.
Well, you put that together fast.
Call me by my given name, which is Delta.
Oh.
There's no need to look so threatening. You were the one who named me, Diana.
I figure out why he and Phi are not the same age, though.
It doesn't matter. I shall answer your question. Carlos, Kane, Junpei, Diana, Phi, and Sigma. All 6 of you know that you are shifters, correct?
I suspect he probably...
Think back on your path to this very moment.
He should be pretty psychic too, but I think his is all tied up in mind control.
By following a normal flow of time.
No.
No, of course you didn't. You jumped in from another history using your shift abilities. And it wasn't just this once. You have been shifting back and forth many times. From one point in space-time to another. You boldly took chances. Much like jumping from one tree branch to another. You have forgotten that fact, perhaps as a result of the medicine, or as one of the side effects of shifting. Regardless, your memories have been kept firmly intact within the morphogenetic field. It is simply that the 6 of you regained the memories of those times. One small trigger, and the levee preventing you from remembering collapsed. Sean is a similar case. However, his thought center is located within the quantum computer, so I suppose it's slightly different from you.
What about me and Mira?
You are both like me, in that we do not have the ability to shift.
You don't?
Which makes him super smart
Have another
to
power
figure out all
instead.
that.
The power to mind hack.
Mind
I
hack?
called it mind control, but it's close enough. That's why people were pushing buttons and shooting people they didn't mean to.
I am able to read other people's minds.
So he is a receiver.
I know the thoughts and ideas that go through their heads. That's why I know exactly what Phi
Oh, he's
is
even more
trying
so.
to
He's
do
a
right
telepath.
now.
Yeah, you want to stop that,
Step away from that device, Phi.
Sister dear.
Then, when we blocked the injection,
I saw through your ruse.
Then why did you...
This is what he wanted.
All of you to play the final decision game.
The final decision game?
I find human decisions fascinating. More specifically, the world branching that occurs as a result. I already mentioned that I am unable to shift. But after looking inside millions of minds, I learned one thing. There are people in this world with the ability to jump between histories. That shifters exist. Hence, why I know so much about these parallel worlds.
You did all this? Because you were curious?
When a person does something significant, it's difficult to boil the reason down to one word. Their motives are often very complex. It is the same now. To fulfill several objectives, it was necessary to trap all of you in here.
So why did you do it?
You want to know? It is so you give birth to Phi and myself, Diana.
What do you mean?
The Bluebird's Lament.
Phi and I are the children of Diana and Sigma.
Phi is...
Wait. They're children?
November 16th, 2029. Phi and I were born in this shelter. This was another history, of course. Shortly after, the atomic data that makes up our bodies was transported to April 1904. The transporter was located in a German research facility at that time. Our bodies reconstructed and regenerated in the export pods at that facility.
But that would mean you're actually...
I'm 124.
Wow.
You're joking.
But
Does he
Phi
seem like a
is-
joker?
A German researcher sent her to 2008.
Oh, okay,
Records
that makes
indicate
sense.
that she was part of an experiment.
You're saying Phi jumped back in time from 2029 to the year 1904?
No.
And then forward again to 2008?
No, not quite.
What
She was
sent
copied.
Both times was simply the data makeup of Phi's body.
It means there's an old version
in
of her.
2008, the device was being studied in an American facility.
That's when an old couple... who
You
was
adopted yourself?
coming in.
Jesus. Please tell me
We've
that's
gone
true.
off
I'm gonna be
topic.
mad if that's not real.
Yes, that was one of the major goals. Everything that occurred here helped
Of
create.
course, she'd be
Phi
incredibly
and
old at that
myself.
time. It probably doesn't work.
And
But
when
now I want
say
it.
That, I am
Quote Spider,
including
I ship it.
all of the other histories. If I hadn't trapped the group of you here, then Phi and
Sorry, I probably blew out the microphone on that. I didn't mean to shout that.
current forms.
Your current
Hopefully the compressor
forms?
took care of that.
Sean, you should already know about epigenetics. You see, environmental factors determine which switches are activated within the genetic code. Reproductive cells are the same. Or perhaps I should say that the reproductive cells are the ones most affected.
Oh, I get it. That's
just
why you
stress
made
them out.
Diana and Sigma play the decision game.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Stress them
By
out so that
backing
they come
them
out psychic.
Into a crisis situation, he caused an epigenetic change within their reproductive cells. I think that's why their children were born with unique powers.
Gold Star. This is the reason I have my mind-hacking abilities. Phi was affected as well. You were born a shifter. DT, do you recall what was written on your wall?
When a curious hate oozes calamity.
And rearranging the letters gives you...
Like,
No
Zero
way.
could be in there somewhere with Z.
What you choose can materialize us.
How do they get that?
Will bring you
They're so
to life.
fast at that.
That is why the decision games were held. So that the Phi and me, here now, would materialize exactly the way we are.
No, but... Okay, so I get why you had to have Diana and Sigma go through life or death decisions. But the rest of us had
No.
nothing to do with...
I already
Remember the
told
snail
you.
story?
My motives are complex.
What? Wait, there's more?
They're super good, like robots. Like Alice figuring out the prime roots.
Goddamn old man!
She did not moon jump, really. Yeah, she did kick a 124-year-old man in the face, though. That girl's got guts. Oh shit. They let Eric have the shotgun.
It's over.
You may be right.
What?
Diana, take this. Put it in. Your bluebird, too.
Uh-oh. Now we get to see what the box does, y'all. Zero doesn't seem distressed.
Key items were set.
Oh.
Executing force quit program. 10 minutes.
Of course. Who forgot there was a nuclear bomb in here? Or nuclear reactor in here?
Oh no!
That will abort the
The
experiment.
hell? What is this?
Hey, answer me! What's with that announcement?
Must I explain?
Well,
This
7 of us are
shelter
getting
will
out of
soon
here.
Explode.
Well, 6 of us.
You've
6 of us
worked
are getting
so
out of here.
hard, only to turn on this facility's self-destruct mechanism.
Sean, access the central control computer.
It's no use. Once the force quit program has been activated, there is no possible way for you to reverse it.
Then what can we do?
I will tell you two good things. First, I suggest checking behind the bar counter.
Okay.
Oh, no!
Why would you?
He killed the dog!
Gab's been.
Did you kill Gab?
He did.
Yes, with the shotgun you're holding. There wasn't much life left in him anyway.
I do have an idea on why, though.
You monster!
There's one decision point we've never jumped back to. And now that we're shifting
what's
freely,
the other thing?
let's go to the coin flip,
You
man.
had 2 things to tell us.
I'm assuming it's so we don't try and take the stupid dog. Oh shit.
Know that.
But
Eric's gonna shoot.
Told you everything about it.
Uh-oh.
Reading other people's thoughts isn't the only thing I can do with mind hacking. It only lasts a moment, but I am able to control someone's body as I wish. Like this.
That's why his eyes are purple. Ah, kill me. Well. I'm ready to, like, leave this doomed timeline. Sucks for you, Computer Boy, and Mira the Heartbreaker, and
Eric, why?
Eric the Giant Pussy.
No, for real, my finger just...
Mind hacking.
Yeah.
Understand now.
By the way, this is the
This
toughest 124-year-old man ever.
So, let's begin. Your final decision game. You have 2 choices. 1, to stay here and wait to die. The other is... The other...
Dude, shift out before this shit started.
Hey! What's the other option? What's the other option?
Why would you explain it to Junpei, because he's clearly not getting it. The old man does tank it, right? Like, he's just...
Well, what should we do?
What about the X door?
And how exactly should we open it? Unless 6 people die, it's gonna stay closed. Or should we start killing each other now?
I mean, I
Mira?
got codes, but nobody's died in this timeline. Well, who knows what timeline this is anymore.
I have an idea.
Which is?
We're going to shift,
Yeah,
all
there we
of
go.
us, together.
Hey, hold on.
She's an
jumping
athletic
to
young
another
woman, it's
history?
fine.
But... Eric, Eric and I...
She hasn't just spent 45
I'm
years
sure
in
it will be
cryo and
fine.
on the moon.
Remember what I said? Human consciousness may be a result of quantum effects in the brain.
Oh, yeah. You said if certain conditions are met, we can also...
What are the conditions?
First, you need to be exposed to danger.
Right.
And the other one is...
to be in the vicinity of a group of shifters.
Oh,
I
they're
get
gonna
it.
pull them too?
We'll resonate, and then Mira and Eric can...
Lame, they
which
should leave them
history
to
are we going
fucking
to
die.
jump to?
They're awful.
None of the similar histories will work. One team is likely to be dead after the vote.
And we can't shift if there are no bodies for us to jump to, right?
Then
Come
we
on.
need to jump to where all of us are alive.
When we're all alive.
Fi, I'm looking at you.
Do you mean...
Yeah.
The history, where we won the coin toss.
Kind of misfied knowing the answer to all this shit.
3 minutes until explosion.
I'm not sure I get it all, but it's a good idea.
What are you saying? There's no way we could do that.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Shift isn't simply jumping into bodies in different histories.
Right?
Our consciousnesses swap places. Ours for theirs.
We'll be forcing our other selves into these bodies, and they'll die without knowing why.
You've done that over and over already. It's
and
fine.
what's wrong with that?
What?
Well, they're all living without a care off in another history, yeah? One time, they do the coin toss once and win? Don't you think that's unfair?
Life is
Mira.
unfair.
You're saying they, but we're talking about ourselves here.
Well, we should consider if those people really are us.
They are not, because they don't have your
If we assume
experiences.
that we here are the true versions, then the us in the other history are essentially strangers.
Even more of a reason not to.
If we shift to that history, then we're tossing the others under the bus to save ourselves.
The us in that history have done nothing wrong.
They're gonna make the brother decision, right? Kill a few people
Only thing they did
to
was
try and
win
save
at a
more?
coin toss.
You could say the same for us. The only thing we did was lose a coin toss. Even so, we've had to go through so much shit. We've been forced to put our lives on the line.
Besides, aren't the bodies in the other histories ours anyway?
Then why should we second guess ourselves?
Huh.
Sorry, Sean.
1 minute until explosion.
We're out of time. I'll say it again. We have two choices. We can stay here and wait for our deaths, or survive by sacrificing our other selves in another history.
So that's what the bastard meant. The final decision game.
Look, man, the other ones don't know shit about shifting or the plan or anything else. We're gonna shift. And that's basically, I think, what Brother's been going for the whole time. Like, he did a thing where everybody was like, where it was awful and terrible. But I think he was looking for this timeline. Yes. I think he's been looking for this timeline. The timeline where a whole bunch of shifters who know about the religious madman who's going to destroy the entire 8 billion people in the human race will be able to go look for it. Right, exactly. Not just escaping, in stopping the deaths of 6 billion people, 8 billion people, really. One Radical 6 was almost just a last-ditch effort to farm a couple of shifters.
Damn, I can't remember anything.
Me neither.
Neither can I.
It somehow feels like I made a bet with someone, but
Someone?
What kind of
No
bet?
Sean. Because I don't think we had a Sean yet.
We all forget what happened?
Hey, could I ask all of you something?
There must be Delta out here.
Who is
Oh, there
this
he is.
kid?
Yeah. Oh, here it comes. I hate that effect so much. Wow, that one knocked us on our asses even. So, I guess Zero stayed inside. He didn't wheel his old man wheelchair out. Sean's like, outside. Like, they should all know that she's a fucking serial killer. That's a weird amount of tenderness.
So, I don't know the time, but
Judging by the position of the sun, it's probably noonish.
And the date?
How would I know?
Hey, Mira. Eric. Do you remember me?
Yeah.
I definitely remember you.
Then we
I
really
better not,
did.
like, get married and adopt the
Must
robot.
have worked.
Life is unfair. Don't you think?
Hey, the dog's alive too. Wonderful.
You bastard.
17 years ago, a snail traveled down a narrow path in the park. If that snail hadn't been there, perhaps all of you here would have lived a completely different life than you did. Just one small snail, and everyone's lives, even the world, changed.
So,
Oh, for
what's the
want
big
of
deal?
a horseshoe nail, the Empire was
Would you
lost.
just quit talking nonsense?
Hey, Gab. Hey, buddy.
I'm so glad you were safe.
Of course
Sprocket,
we
old
were.
boy.
You all have shifted in from another history.
Whatever. We gotta call the cops.
He hasn't done anything wrong yet.
What exactly will that accomplish?
Isn't it obvious? We're throwing you in the slammer.
For
And
what?
my crime?
Yeah.
Murder.
Murder? I see.
Whose?
But I haven't killed anyone. Specifically, in this history, not a single person has died. I strongly doubt the police would listen.
But in the other histories, you...
Did you not pay attention? I don't have the ability to shift. The only reason I know anything of those histories is because I mind-hacked you. In effect, the me you know is a different person than the one before you.
It's true, he's not even brother yet. Maybe.
Can I
Free the Soul
be
did
charged for
exist.
killing someone in
But Radical
another
6
history?
hasn't come out, so I guess he is brother.
If so, then I'd say this world would be full of criminals of all kinds.
What about conspiracy to commit?
Yeah. I'm betting this history's got a bunch of dangerous machines and gimmicks all over the shelter.
Unfortunately, I have removed them all.
Man, he was
you
busy.
slept for quite a while.
Shouldn't they be
Nothing
sunburned?
is left in the shelter. No transporter, no quantum computer. Loaded into a truck and taken away. Sean is able to move right now due to radio signals received from a satellite. What? Aren't you happy? I say again, in this history, not a single person has died.
They all look permanently
Lies
pissed off with
exist,
those eyebrows.
And there will never be an outbreak of Radical 6. There is only a bright future ahead for all of us. Is this not what you'd call a happy end?
But according to you, All of mankind will die if time passes and nothing is done.
Religious fanatic, a terrorist attack that sparks a nuclear war.
And now
I
you
heard
know.
This story. You said you released Radical 6 so that you could kill that person.
The me before you did not say that, but I can't deny it's true.
Radical 6 won't spread throughout the world in this history.
That means that fanatic guy won't die.
Wait, so now humans will go extinct?
But if you go stop him.
Where's that happy future you mentioned?
Interesting. Does that make you angry, Fi?
What?
If so, then we have a serious contradiction. I had prepared a future in another history where 2 billion would survive. But yet, you decided to jump to this history. That means you chose a future where humanity goes extinct, over 6 billion dead.
No, you're wrong, Delta. Nothing in the future has been determined yet. We'll shape the future with our own hands.
Huh. You said something I can get behind, Carlos.
I think so too.
I agree.
Okay, me too.
Mira.
Yeah, seriously,
You're
what's
right.
up with you?
The future has infinite possibilities.
If we work together, we can accomplish anything.
Humanity's gonna die out? Screw that.
We'll definitely change that horrible future.
Now you see why he did this. It's his plan.
What's so funny?
Just that.
What the hell do you mean?
I'm sure I told you in another history that my motives are complex. Imagine, what if none of you had experienced the events that occurred in the shelter? You're so determined now to change the future. One of the goals of all of this was to get you into that frame of mind. It's all going according to plan, without a single casualty. I created a future where mankind will be saved. Does that upset you? Are you angry that your life was played with? Very well.
Who knows?
I will give all of you.
Maybe they need
one
ice
last
cream in the
choice.
future.
With that gun there, you will be able to choose whether to kill me now or allow me to leave.
Well, I have no idea what else Free the Soul has done,
Mind hacking on you.
but I'm
You are
kind of
free
inclined to let him
decide.
live.
Which shall it be? Pull the
He's
trigger.
one smart
or
motherfucker.
let me go. The fates of you, me, and mankind are all on the line. This is the decision game.
Carlos. I'm assuming that's not one we can play. Interesting. This time it will not let me escape out. So we made the right choice. That's the true end. We could have chosen not to leap out, but it would have just been a bad end. Nothing would have been gained. Nothing would have changed. The experiment would have been a failure. But As I recall, we still do have 2 little blocks to unlock, so there may still be a secret end in there somewhere. Hopefully. There we go. Ah, Karen Strassman. I recognize her from before. And Matt Mercer. So that's Sigma and Phi. So what did you guys think? Yeah, but Matt Mercer's actually pretty good. He's not Nolan North yet, but I do always enjoy hearing people from Critical Role in stuff. I've liked individual ones of them individually, but seeing them as a cabal of friends. This is a nice end theme, Boo. It's a very nice end theme. I still think my 2 favorite themes come from Virtue's Last Reward, even though I think 999 is definitely my favorite of the 3 games. But the Bluebird's Lament, which is the music box theme that we hear that often kicks up into the very emotional strings, and then the actual intro theme for VLR, are probably my 2 favorite songs from this series. Studio Don Juan. You know what I mean? Alright, when this finishes, we're going to see if we can figure out what is up with the endings. And if there isn't anything else to do, Boo, are you available for a little bit of a wrap-up discussion here on stream? We talked about all the others. Alright, game, I know you're proud of your credits, but come on. I'm gonna need you to finish up. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do a Q&A after this one. You have to bask in your hate. It's complex motives is the new art assets. I like that though. Here we go. So we should be able to save our last one. If there is another ending, it's almost certainly just an official bad ending where nothing happened. Here we go. The Final Decision, CQD End 2. Oh, no, there was just the one more. That's right. The other one was the mask from the inside. That is the final one, you guys. 18 hours, 12 minutes, 52 seconds. That is a lot shorter than the previous games. Yeah, there's a lot of achievements. I noticed that I've got something like 10 achievements. that remain. Let's take a look here. Boo, if you can join me in Station 1.
Station 1.
Station 1. Hi, Boo. How you doing? So now we're all caught up. We have played all the games. You've watched me play them. You have played them yourself. Well, I think you still need to play some VLR, but...
I still need to play VLR.
Yeah. So what's on your mind? What did you think
I was
of the
pissed off
game?
about an hour into your playthrough.
No, I meant what did you think about the game?
Just answering that question right out of the gate.
Oh, okay. We'll come back to that one.
Yeah, very quickly. It is the weakest of the three. Just because cliffhanger ending and the director went to a different series.
What series is that? And how do I get in on it?
It's still in development.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll be watching for that.
Yeah, no shit.
I wasn't unhappy with the cliffhanger ending. I agree. I think it's the weakest of the endings. Or the weakest of the games. I think what killed me the most about it is it's very hard to form a narrative. And so it very quickly stops mattering when things are, and it just matters that you complete things. Yeah. And that robs you a little bit of the joy of what's going on and figuring the stuff out. Because sometimes you're just presented with data that's completely not been revealed to you yet. It's possible for you to have gotten it, but you haven't played the scene yet. And so you lose the joy of discovering that.
Yeah, that's why I was like, yeah, I just went through every time, because the vote decision and then the decontamination room decision are all super early in the game.
Yes.
So it was like I went and did all the decisions. Funnily enough, I did all the decisions backwards by the time I got done with it. I saved everybody last, but I saved everybody by voting opposite of the coaster.
And I wondered if you would get an achievement for voting backwards, like basically an all betray, but getting the same result.
Sadly, no, but it was just funny how that ended up on my playthrough.
See, I immediately started by trying to save everybody. Like, as soon as that plan was suggested, I was like, yes, that's going to allow us to see more stuff. And I'm not sure if that was true. Exactly. I'm not sure if that was true. I'm not sure how many of my decisions that I've made in this game mattered. And maybe that's a meta commentary on Delta with his mind hack. Right? You had to basically vote the way that he wanted you to vote, or the game didn't do anything. Mm-hmm. The first real decision that we may be able to actually have made was whether Carlos or not shoots him off camera. If you think about it from that perspective.
Yeah, it's... I think it has the most touching scenes of the three games.
Oh, I agreed.
Basically anything with D-Team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and it's particularly brutal when you think about the fact that in another section, I'm assuming they never got out of their section in that timeline, there's a whole pantry full of food. Remember, that's where we found Junpei's disembodied corpse.
No, they found that.
Oh, did they? I thought he was saying he looked behind the counter. I thought they were eating cans of dog food from behind the bar.
No, that's how they lasted 9 months. There's 9 months of food in the shelter.
Oh, okay. So they must have found a way into the other sections.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if we ever saw them in another section in that one. I don't think so.
No, you
But-
only see them in the transporter room and the lobby.
Didn't somebody throw something at, like, a door early on? Because I remember whenever we saw the wall damaged, I was like... No, it was a punch. It was a punch to the wall. I think Carlos punched a door instead of, like, punching a wall, like, in frustration.
So I am going to show you the whole anagrams thing.
Uh-huh. Which...
That is so prevalent through the
they're
series.
weird-ass anagram-solving robots, man. I couldn't solve it as fast as they solved it with a website.
Yeah, no shit. In your Discord, I'm about to post something.
Okay.
That I think will blow your mind.
All right. Well.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Blow my mind. Zero time dilemma. Me, I'm Zero, I'm Delta. Nice. Did you notice that there is either an error or them being very tricky in the clock in Zero? The 6 is wrong. I don't know if they're being tricky or not, but the 6 has the I and V reversed. It's just another 4. Now, there is a possibility that that is like a tongue-in-cheek thing because Delta is the 4th letter of the alphabet, but I can't figure out what the 6 would be that he's flipping out.
I don't know.
Could just be art assets, Boo. Could just be art assets.
It finally can just be art assets.
So, an hour in, you said I made you angry. What happened at that point in time? Where did the hate begin?
You were playing D-Team.
Right.
And you were sitting there talking to Diana, and you go, "Oh, she's the base for Luna." I was like,
Whoa.
"Fuck you!"
It's super obvious, and especially knowing that the robot type, if you read in VLR, and I know you haven't finished it, but there's a whole bunch of gold plates that you get for solving the alternate safe combinations, right? And in there it talks about Galm, and it says what Galm's serial number stands for. It also talks about Luna and says what Luna stands for. And she is Golem type female Diana model. That's what the DM stands for.
Yeah.
So it's actually given away there. Once we see a Diana that's a redhead that looks exactly like Luna, it's pretty obvious.
But,
my biggest leap of faith, the one that I felt vindicated for, but was just like way out there, because I tried codes a few different times, right?
Yeah.
Was Music Box to open D-Team's portion of the Force Quit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the brooch made sense. We knew that that was a mother's memento. We'd been told that for a long time. But this was way before I saw the birth of the twins.
Yeah.
So, and I have ages of
like,
notes.
Then you're like, Vi's eyes, she's got red eyebrows, and the same thing red around her eyes that Diana has. That's
Well, they are...
the daughter! I was like, fuck!
Well, they are red eyebrows!
I know.
And what's even weirder, if you think about it, her eyes changed from being that kind of Santa aquamarine blue-green to being blue and gray, which is a combination of Diana and Sigma.
Yeah.
So, I have so many pages of notes. It's just ridiculous. Some of them are codes. Some of them are like X not Q, Desi equals 10, 10th player, dog, owner, yes. Things like that. So I'm assuming that since they all knew Gab, and Gab was always with him, I'm assuming that's the old man's medicine dog or something like that.
Yeah, that's his medicine carrier.
Poor Gab, though, right? Can you imagine with that 2-hour time delay, somebody takes a piece of cheese and throws it down a vent, and the dog wanders into the vent that doesn't really go anywhere, eats a piece of cheese, and is like, how do I get out of here? Oh, look, there's other people. Hi, people. Because it wasn't going anywhere. And what happened? That's another kind of cheat, right? They decided to address their note in the actual order of their time delay. Right? If Carlos had written his note for a different team, like if he had written it for D team, Q team never would have gotten anything. They had to pass it along in order of their time delay.
Yeah, I'm assuming that Zero just went CQD and just did that like every 90 minutes, threw them in the cold storage. And
yeah, almost certainly. You could really play it through knowing that. I mean, actually, you know for certain it is, because look at the flowchart that I've got on the screen right now. It very specifically shows you C, Q, D, C, Q, and D. So it actually very explicitly gives that as our order. And it went back to 999, where you couldn't really trust the data that was shown on the watches.
Yeah.
Which was kind of a cool callback. I think the biggest hints for me through the entire game were actually the X codes. The X codes were all incredibly prophetic, giving away information that you couldn't possibly have known to that date. I understand almost all of them. There's one that's virgin for Mira. She didn't look like a virgin. But maybe.
The way that she presents herself is she toys and flirts to get people to fall in love with her, and then she cuts their heart out to look at it. I don't think she's ever had sex. She just learned that that's the way people give her attention.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. That is entirely possible. I don't know. There's a few that stand out. There's one where they give blue, red, and milk, and I actually got those out of order until we saw a picture. I didn't write them down in the right order. Blue was Luna's, and red was Phi's, and milk was Sigma's. And I assumed on red and milk that it was blood colors or eye colors or something like that, but I still don't know, because I don't know what the blue would be in return. But it was good. It was good after you and Ryan being a little hesitant on it. I was afraid that I would really come out of it going, not only was it the weakest, I didn't enjoy it. But I did enjoy it.
No, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I just thought it was the weakest of the 3 games.
Yeah. A little bit. Now that I've played them all, I will probably go back and gather the achievements out of them. Why not finish the scenes? Maybe one of them will explain the significance of 38080832.
I don't think it does.
And I've mostly put together who was who in the snail story, right? Like, Akane's dad was the one who was falsely framed for Mira's first murder, and so on and so forth. But I'm not sure who the surgeon was. It may not have been an important person. The kid who died was obviously Sean. The old man was obviously Delta.
All because of a single snail.
Right? And I've got to believe that the only reason that they possibly let Eric in was just because he was in. Because that dude was one dangerously unstable pussy monster, and I hated him. He is by far my least favorite character. Not just, like, there are people who I can loathe who are still cool characters. He is just...
He, like, approaches Dio levels of...
I like Dio better than I like him.
Yeah.
There was only one ever redeeming scene with Eric, so far as I can tell. And that's where Sean basically gives him shit for treating a little kid like that. And then he's like, I'm sorry, buddy. We'll solve this together. And then he proceeds to spend the entire pod room making Sean solve all the puzzles so he can get a shotgun.
Yeah.
What a dick. The dude is just awful.
No, it got to that room, and I just got so excited for the slider puzzles. I haven't had a good slider puzzle in a long time.
Right? Like, I like the slider puzzles. The first ones were super easy, but the last couple to get the shotgun out were pretty challenging.
Yeah.
And I like the shape sliders. I don't like the ones where they're just like the 3x3 or the 4x4 grid where you have to move the shapes into the right place.
Yeah.
I never liked those for some reason, but I like the shapes. I really liked, although I'm not sure what to think about, the transporter tech, right? Like, I liked the idea that you can transport, but you don't get to go anywhere.
So did you like the idea that Fi was her own stepmom?
I need that to be true. There's been no confirmation in the story that we've seen so far, but I really need that to be true, that she adopted herself, her own foster mother.
It is a Word of God thing.
Oh, okay. Word of God thing. So it is.
She adopted herself.
You heard how excited I was. I almost blew out the microphone. Like, I needed that in my life. If we're going to have a bootstrap baby, the bootstrap baby needs to be raised by herself.
I honestly think that's why she's that smart. She just
probably
resonated with herself and got that 104 years of memories.
Well, that's also possible. She does seem much older than her age. Since they said they were scientists and researchers, I thought maybe she was just raised with an emphasis there, but maybe she did.
You know, that's my personal headcanon was, you know, she was sitting there teaching science and everything, and they just kind of resonated together.
Mm-hmm.
And just got a shit ton of info dump into her brain.
Well, when they do the sequel, I need them to do certain things. They need to decide real seriously which characters that they want to continue forward with. Like, I like Carlos, and I would be cool with Carlos sticking around, but I don't need Mira, and I don't need Eric, and
Eric can happily die off screen somewhere.
I don't need Sean, although it would be neat if the QC looked like him. Like if it was an upgraded version or something like that. Because the quantum computer was much smaller in Virtue's Last Reward, but it still had that kind of glowing red ring.
Yeah.
I hate to say, like, get rid of, like, Junpei, but Junpei's story's told at this point in time.
I think with this, him and Akane actually get a happy end. This way.
True. I mean, it's possible. He needs to adjust his attitude then.
I honestly think now that he has got Akane in a timeline where they're working together instead of her wiping his memory, and
like, I really like his Tenmyoji arc from the first one.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with knowing that version of him that left. I mean, that was a very bitter and sad ending, but I'm okay with it being complete.
Did you like the VLR ending where
yes,
it leads right to VLR? We find out what happens to Sigma.
Right. Fi was I was a little mad at Diana. I mean, I know that it had to happen, but I'm like, Two people telling you, like, you're going to kill 6 billion people if you do this. And she's like, well, screw it. You need robot arms. And Fi needs to commit suicide in 10 hours. Actually, that probably doesn't happen. Because I'm sure she's already infected when they freeze her in the treatment pods.
I mean, that might be the sample of Radical 6 they get to... I think she is patient 0 in VLR.
She is. And at one point in time, I was like, hey, look, we have yet another 0.
She's going to be the 0 in the next game.
Hey, every game we have played as 0 at least part of the game.
Yeah?
Because we were young Akane. We were young Akane. Young Akane's telling the story.
Yeah.
In the first one. And we are old Sigma's body, at least, in the second one. And we're very clearly Delta for most of this. Because every time they finally do address him, or they talk to him without addressing him, they look right at the camera.
Yeah, how did you like when they were sitting there talking about, like, there was one scene with Q-Team where they're sitting there and they're talking to the old man and they keep panning down to the dog.
Right? That was actually, I think, where I had the strongest inclination that it wasn't actually the dog. Like, I could get if you would call the dog old man. It's an old dog, right? But they looked at you when they said it, and then they looked down at the dog. And I'd seen enough little shadows and enough little things that I knew there was a 10th person, but I didn't know it was a man or a woman. I didn't know how old it was. I just knew that there was somebody else. And I invented all of this other stuff, which may be true, but all this other stuff in my mind about X instead of a Q door telling us that there's 10 because of the Roman numeral, and Desi for the decision game instead of Nona for the Nonary game telling me it was 10. And I don't know if any of that was intended, but I read it that way and I jumped to that conclusion that there was a 10th person because of it.
Absolutely certain. That is why.
Yeah. So, I mean, I am too, but it's my justification. I have no external validation on that. But it fits. And the fact that they would still draw in a shadow even in scenes where they didn't render shadows for other things like furniture. Sometimes they did and sometimes they didn't. Or like they were trying to get the chain off the dog, but they never showed us what the chain was tied to. Why would you not take a fire extinguisher to the chain, right? Mm-hmm. Probably because they were going to leave this blind, deaf old man. He was fine, but let's keep the dog. Jerks.
That scene, I could swear he was just attached to a pole.
No, it's wrapped around the pole twice, and then it runs off to the side. And that's how I actually kind of had an inclination, because the chain runs right into the shadow, which is out at the bottom of the corner of the screen. And I was like, oh, okay, so it's attached to something. Because I was just like, why don't you just take it off of whatever it's attached to? They're in this quantum computer room where everything is tied in there. You telling me they don't have access to a burner or a toolbox or anything anywhere now that they can just search it and do what they want? And they're like, no, let's just poke at it with our fingers while we tell this story. I'm like, well, you're never going to get a chain off that way.
I know you're trapped in there and have infinite time, but...
Right. Well, at least 10 months. And man, Carlos, right?
Yeah,
Dude escapes.
Carlos was a great character.
Yeah, I was really impressed with him. And I think it said a lot about his character whenever he escaped. It went 10 months back in time and was like, you know what? I got to rescue these fools in 10 months. I'm going to eat some bacon cheeseburgers, and then I'm going to load all my fire extinguishing equipment into a truck, drive out there, break in with a bomb, and rescue them. So...
And he saved his family in that timeline.
Yeah, it was cool that Maria woke up. At least through the morphogenetic field anyway. And said that she would wait. And it might be interesting if Carlos is in the next one to see her even briefly. Just like a flashback or something like that. Because everybody that can do this kind of stuff has got a sibling. And for the ones that didn't, there's only one left who
happened.
Well, there's only one left. There's only one person who can do this that doesn't have a sibling, and that's Tenmyoji.
Yeah.
And so they might reveal that there's something, but they said that it was his relationship with Akane, and she's particularly powerful and invested in this, so I could see how that could maybe wake it up in him. But that's absolutely why Eric can't do it. His sibling's dead. And I don't think Mary can do it because she has absolutely no empathy for other people. And so there's just, like Ace, she can't communicate through there.
Right, but yeah, I'm really feeling, because they said danger and the presence of other shifters. It's like,
Well, that's shifting. But that's not the same as the sending receiving.
Right.
Junpei probably couldn't shift until he was around other shifters, but he was doing sending and receiving.
Well, he said he couldn't do it after he couldn't do it again after 999.
Yeah, though he's got a
And
boatload
it's
of difficult problems. But he's got no sibling. He's got no sender receiver pair, really. Hell, it might have been the fact that it might not have even been him. It might have been the fact that Akane has this weird one-off ability to like observe other people that aren't herself through time in the morphogenetic field.
Yeah, Akane is just like an all-powerful god.
She really kind of is, and I don't know. Carlos got really confident of his shift ability real quick. Shoot me! Dude. What did you do this wrong?
He realized he's been doing it all his life, so...
I know, but he's just all like... Can you imagine how bad that must be, right? You would eventually get used to some level of danger.
Yeah.
Which means it's got to get worse and worse.
I do like they finally got into the swapping aspect. Like if you shift out of a dangerous situation, you're basically putting an innocent person into that situation and killing them.
And they imply that and even briefly talk about it in VLR, but they don't talk about the moral aspect of it. Right. They just talk about the fact that the consciousnesses swap.
Yeah, because they talk about that with Sigma and how he swapped bodies and everything.
Right.
But, you know, in this case, you are killing innocent people when you shift out of life and death situations.
You are, but it's interesting because by making their final decision, they're basically making the same decision that the brother made, that Delta made, and that is kill a few people to try and protect more people. Right? He killed 6 billion people to try and protect 2 billion people when 8 would have died. Right? So he was trying a triage thing. And in this case, they sentenced their 8 lucky selves to die so that they can turn around and be superheroes. And I've kind of thought that that was what it was. I almost felt like through the entire game that he was basically breeding superheroes, people who could do this ability at will to try and manipulate the world. And that might be an interesting next game where they both disagree. Like there's two factions and they disagree on what needs to be done and they're interfering with each other. Right now, everybody has been cooperatively working together to make this stuff happen. But what if there's two groups with this ability that don't agree on how to make something happen?
It's going to turn into the Evil Leaper saga of Quantum Leap.
It really will. But I don't know why Quantum Leap doesn't exist at this point in time, to be completely honest. It came out in like 85. We've had, 30 more years of history, almost 35 more years of history. All they have to do is make his daughter, because he did have a daughter, try and revivify Dad's experiments, let her jump through time, and then bring Scott Bakula back in every now and then, Because he never returned home in the original continuity, but who knows?
Yeah,
maybe...
I know. I was so pissed about that. It's
but
like
maybe
you're
he can
going
get
to-
out.
You're throwing God at us, and
Yes. Now, that said, I actually really liked the last episode of Quantum Leap, with the exception of that final black title card.
yeah.
But...
Well, I did and didn't, because I was like 15 when it originally aired, and I was so pissed at it.
Yeah.
That it was like, oh, so we're literally throwing Deus Ex Machina into the story.
Yep.
You have to have God come and explain what the fuck you're doing.
I'm looking at this picture of Diana right now, and she just looks... So it's fun to see what's there, right? She's got the flowers in her hair.
Yes.
Like Fi has in Virtue's Last Reward.
Yes. It is kind of sad. She's like, I really hate my hair color, so I changed my hair from red to white.
Yeah. And then they're both of her parents are like, no, it would look cute on you. It's fine. Kids are just kids. I wonder why she's got the glasses, though. I mean, she looks like a little nerd, and I dig it, but just curious. Just like I wonder why there's this giant rust splotch, an identical rust splotch and crack on every one of those Sean bots.
Yeah,
like, what's the point? He's got everything else set up. Don't you think you would be able to see the door? Like, I'm looking at my walls around my house right now. I feel like I could still see the contours of a door, even if the projection thing was there. I mean, I know it's not a one-to-one map, but holy crap.
I'm honestly surprised you didn't get the whole map thing as soon as you saw... Figured out you could go into your files and see the 3 maps and be there's a corridor thing there. Fool.
And that's one of the things that actually did frustrate me whenever they finally revealed that, because I looked at the maps and I didn't pay any more attention to them after that because it gave me no ability to move. That was one of the better things in VLR, was they showed movement on the map, so you had a better sense of how things were related. The only thing that really came to that was whenever they said that there was a missing room, and it was just the missing name of a room, and it turned out to be the study.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing they need to drop for the sequel is they need to drop this alien stuff. I got no problem with it existing in this one, but it can be a one-off mystery. It doesn't have to keep going, just like they dropped the Alice thing. Just let it be a mystery and go on. I don't need the transporter or the alien language or anything else like that to feature heavily in a sequel. Starting to wonder if they're out of quantum physics tricks, though.
Yeah, I know, right? We've thrown all the big words at these people.
Well, I mean, we've covered pretty much all the ones I can think of at the moment, with the exception of, like, the destruction of quantum information and stuff like that by, like, observing things that you change them and fix them in history and stuff like that. Because we've now done quantum cloning. We've done Schrodinger's cat in several different varieties. I don't know. I'd have to get my book from game theory, because I took a game theory course in college, out and see, all right, what haven't we covered yet for game theory? Because the first couple of games play like a primer. It is fun to see the fact that we have an AB game in here, and you have to wonder who had the AB game first. Because even the screen looks identical.
Yeah.
So, like, on the one hand, I mean, Old Sigma should know.
Yeah.
So who told Delta what they looked like?
Well, he probably mind-hacked Akane, because Akane is connected to herself.
Yeah, that could entirely be possible. Who knows how many versions of reality he can read through there. Would you have shot Delta there at the end?
I honestly think you need him.
Yeah, I do too. If that dude can't see multiple realities and can still plan out everything that needed to happen in them, he is scary smart. Just because he has the data from other people doesn't mean that he could just use it. He has to be really smart for that. And I guess that makes sense. Sigma is super damn smart. Diana's no slouch.
Did you get the Monty Hall problem in 1?
Yeah. Because I know the Monty Hall problem, although I'm not entirely sure that the game wasn't engineered in such a way to do it. Like, punish them every time they choose to stay with it and always give it to them if they choose the other option. But yeah, when it called it Monty Hall, I started explaining the Monty Hall problem, and then the game decided to explain the Monty Hall problem to me. I was like, yeah, hurry on. Let me just choose the other door. But yeah, I got it the first time. I've never had the bad ending where they choke to death. I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, you actually have a 1 in 10 chance.
It's not true.
Of actually choosing the right one in the first time. It's
Oh no. When you said when I got it in 1, I thought you meant that I got the correct playthrough. No, I did not select the correct one the first time. Zeely Bob told me the right number randomly, actually. And then Gerg came up with his answer a little later, just due to stream lag, I'm sure. And so I split the difference between them and said, hey, how about 3? And Zeely Bob's, well, don't blame me if it's not 1. And so all the doors open except for 1 and 3. And I said, well, let's just go with Zeely Bob's 1 because that's the statistically best way to do it. And sure enough, we got the thing. But yeah, if I had selected 1, that would have been kind of cool. Theoretically, it's possible to roll all the 1s the first time, too. That may be a Steam achievement I never get.
No, it's not. The game is engineered in a way that you have to play through fragments several times.
Mm-hmm.
So things like the gun will always go off the first time you pull the trigger. The dice will always show numbers.
Gotcha. That aren't 1.
It's
1. like a rand 2 to 6 function instead of a 1 to 6.
Yeah, the Monty Hall problem is one of the few that you can guess correctly the first time without dying.
That's cool.
Yeah, I love how you have to do the AB game like 4 times and suddenly Carlos gets it. He's like...
Right. Carlos was pissed that second time. He's like, hey, you're an asshole! Wasn't like this last time. Junpei's like, what the hell are you talking about? Yeah. I don't know, man. The game started off on a really weird note for me because one of the very first things that we saw was the pantry, which means that we saw Akane like wielding a bloody ass chainsaw, and I was like, well, this is
that one first.
This one feels really out of character, man. We've escalated real fast here.
Yeah, one of the things that really gets me is, I think it is a D-Team one, where the little picture shows, like, all the puzzle solutions.
They did that a lot in VLR. So many times in VLR. If you went to another room, like say that you didn't solve the puzzles in the infirmary, and then you were later in the infirmary, the puzzles are solved, and you could just screenshot it if you wanted to.
Yeah. And, I mean, I can't remember if it was that, or if it was when it was panning around the room at the beginning of one of them. It was like, this is all the answers. What the fuck are you doing?
The answers for which?
One of the room puzzles.
It
was like, it's all answered. What the? Okay.
Yeah, there was some weirdness in solving these puzzles. Some weird clicking things that, like in the power room, getting everything to melt and stuff like that. It's like the clicking seemed a little off. The order of operations seemed, I mean, they were there. I don't know. And I still don't know what the whole point of building the blue button was. The one in the healing room that just literally explodes everything? Like, I don't get it. Why would you build that into your base?
I do love that you're like, I have to sit here for a fucking minute and agonize over a button.
I mean, I can not push it. It says don't push it. I'm not going to push it. Actually, it made me even more cautious whenever I got to the remote control to open up the drain. I was like, an unlabeled remote control with a big red button on it. I'm going to look at everything else before I have to push this button. Because bathrooms are terrible places in this series. You don't ever want to be in a locker room or a bathroom.
I do love that they, in the twins ending, they go back to the pre-Golem chamber.
Right.
And the bomb's there, and they're like, they took the balls out of it.
Yes.
So they can't use it to escape. I was like,
exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, that's dark. Of course, Zero left, right? We see all the dead people, and there's 3 dead people. And I'm like, where's the dog? And looking back on it after figuring out the shadows and stuff like that, I'm like, where's Delta? Delta just left, man. He's like, no.
Well, he died in those timelines, like the Q-Team execution and all that. He died in all of them, so...
maybe, yeah.
He said he did.
He said he did, and I did not go... I admit, I did not go back to the menu, because it's difficult to get to in this compared to the other games. I did not go into the menu and check the status.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that for God knows how long. That there was a status of everybody.
What do you think the point of the yellow door was? I mean, if they're all the same ward, why would he need a secret door between 2 rooms?
Because he saw a timeline where he's trying to channel everybody to...
Yeah, that's literally got to be it. That literally has to be it, is because it existed. We did this because it already happened. I mean, it's definitely what Akane did, and it's exactly what Sigma did, too. Quark is here because Quark was here.
Well, he said Junpei wouldn't leave without him, so...
True, but he had... I don't even know that he needed Junpei, really. Other than he was there. He didn't solve any key puzzle, although I'm sure he had something interesting to do that. Huh. I just realized something. This is frustrating. So if you're looking at the screen, all the completed segments have got a border around them. Yeah. The uncompleted segments do not. I'm sitting there clicking on every single one of them to try and figure out which ones are uncompleted for the options. And the completed ones have borders on them. Well, that will make getting the last few achievements easier.
I just did everything from the flowchart.
Yeah.
That was the thing that kept getting me. You're like, I'm going to go back and replay this decision. And it's like you clicked on the clip that came after the decision like 3 or 4 times instead of the scales. It's like, no, you're going to the wrong place.
I don't recall that. When did I do that?
It was the first 2 or 3 times you jumped.
There were a few I know that I selected scenes that I had already been to, but it wasn't me trying to redo the decision points. I don't know. I had to figure out what is up with some of these other ones at some point. And what is up with the yellow endings? I think those are like secret endings or endings that don't matter.
They're just happy. They're...
The happy one for Sean and the fuck you to Delta.
Yeah.
I like that it's an arrow shooting a triangle. Hell, isn't that section called triangle? Yeah, it's called triangle. Although it is weird, I wish there was an indicator that would tell you, and maybe this is what you're talking about, as you clear each of these choices, maybe they're simultaneously true, but there was one where I told somebody to betray, and I still died because the other two were set against me. And I had to go back, and I actually had to clear back to getting everybody in a circle so that I could get past that one. Like, Q Team chose to betray and kill D Team, but I had already set D and C to kill Q. So even though I betrayed there, D Team's betrayal was still in effect. And so I died anyway. I had to go change D Team to do the right thing. And then at the end of D Team doing that, it kicked me back into the menu.
Yeah, once you unlocked the 3 skull things, it didn't matter anymore. You unlocked the branch that followed it.
Yeah, but the problem I was having was trying to betray D Team to unlock the blue one. And it wasn't an available option to me because they had still chosen to betray instead of to follow the rules. Before that happened, it matters. It remembered which choices I had made. And there was no indicator of that. But luckily, I was able to figure it out pretty quick.
I have to use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Okay. For those of you still on the stream, this may be a good time for us to go ahead and end the post-game conversation anyway. I think we've talked about it. We've been on stream for 2 hours and 31 minutes. We wrapped up the ending really nicely. You guys, if you haven't played this, absolutely get out there, buy this, play this. I would wait until it's on sale, but once it's on sale, it is hours upon hours of good mystery and escape rooms and stories and surprisingly good voice acting. So it was fun hanging out with you guys. We've done, 20 hours of streaming or something like that this weekend. We may do some more, but if we do, it'll be tomorrow. I don't think I'll be back on stream tonight. So I will see you guys all next time.